guys, it's Megan. Welcome back to the library today. So today we are going to talk about books that I am going to look up right now on Goodreads that have really low reviews, like overall average ratings are low, but that I actually really like them. Now, I've not prepared this in advance because I kind of want to be surprised what books are low. I want to be like, whoa, like how did they rate that book that low and stuff like that. But before we get started, I have to give an honorable mention to the book I am currently reading because I know that it also has a very low review. And of course, if you know anything about Goodreads, low is, I mean, really anything around like 3 point something stars. I feel like anything below 4 is honestly kind of low, but like 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, that's pretty low. I've not really seen too many books lower than that. So, but I want to talk about the book I'm currently reading, which I'm like 72% of the way through, and I'm really enjoying it. I think there's gonna be a trend here. I think I'm gonna like a lot of these books that are pretty low rated. But this book is rated 3.63 stars, and it is This Is Not the Jess Show. And honestly, I cannot even tell you the author because I don't remember. But I picked it up at school because I had done some book talks on it, and it's really, really cool. It's like a mystery, but it's like kind of sci-fi because it's a girl that's like, she lives in the 90s. It's set in the like 1998, and she's just a normal teenager, normal life. And all of a sudden, one day, her friend opens her book bag, or like something falls out of her backpack, and it is like this strange device that has an Apple logo on the back. And of course it's an iPhone, which has not even been invented yet in 1998. So she starts to question reality and like what's what. And it's really good. Like it's very fast paced, but not too fast paced. And I love it. I don't know why it's rated 3.63 stars. I'd give it definitely a 4-star so far. I mean, I'm not finished, so I can't say how it's going to end, but I'm really enjoying it. Okay, now let's look on Goodreads. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my read books, which I have 281 of now, which is crazy. And I've not even added like all the books I've ever read, I don't think. And then I'm going to I'm going to sort it by average rating. Of course, there's my rating, but then there's the average rating. Okay, it starts sorting it by the highest. Oh, that's just kind of ironic. The highest rated is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, which I DNF'd and said was absolutely terrible. And that's like my highest rated book, 4.64 stars. Maybe we'll make that a whole other video, like the highest rated star books on Goodreads that I didn't like or whatever. But now we need to sort it the other way. Average rating by like the worst rating. Here we go. I knew what the worst one would be. Worst book according to Goodreads that I have ever read and that I do actually really enjoy. I've honestly never seen a book below 3 stars. This book has 2.97 stars. I talk about it all the time and I recommend it to students all the time, and that is Solstice by Lawrence Allison. I love this book. It's a fun, fast-paced little mystery novel. I read it like right before I had the baby. Maybe that's why I have fond memories of it back when, you know, I had sleep and peace and quiet. But this book, it's very short. It's very fast-paced. It's basically the story of the Fire Festival gone wrong, like a music festival on an island in the Caribbean that cost $10,000 a ticket to go. This girl can't afford to go, but turns out her best friend's dad is rich. So they're able to, her best friend's able to pay for her to go, and she doesn't even tell her mom. So when she gets there, there's no cell phone reception. The island is terrible, right? Like there's no bathrooms, there's, you know, it's like porta potties, there's nowhere to sleep, there's not enough food, and everybody wants off the island. But there's a big storm, no one has reception, no one can leave the island. And it's just like the Fire Festival thing, except then a body washes up on the shore. So it turns into a mystery, and I love the mystery aspect of it. Like you just didn't know if it was going to be a person, like a killer that was the culprit, or is it going to be something natural in nature? Like, well, could it be an accident? Could it have been like there's killer jellyfish around the island? There's also legends of this like supernatural creature in the waters, and that's why no one goes to this side of the island, because this music festival is taking place on the uninhabited part of the island, not like the good part of the island where everybody thought it was going to take place. But anyway, so you just don't know what's going on, and I loved it, and I highly recommend this book, even though it only got 2.97 stars on Goodreads. Let's see, the next book, and the next one, I did actually like this one, because of course I didn't always like all these lowest rated ones either, but my next lowest rated book was 3.31 stars average. I gave it 4, and it is Angel Time by Anne Rice. So this is a series that she started after, I believe it was after her Vampire Chronicles days were over. Well, she said they were over, but of course she came back with some later. But she wrote 2 books in this little series called The Songs of the Seraphim. Angel Time, and I think the second one was called like Of Love and Evil or something. And it was about an assassin. And I loved this book. Honestly, I can't remember too much about the plot. Like, if you want to know the plot, I'll probably just have to click on this and read it to you because I can't really remember. But it was good. I gave it 4 stars. It's still Anne Rice. It's still super well written, and she's such a good storyteller. So everything is woven in just like perfectly. So, and while it's not, you know, vampires and things, I believe there was still something supernatural about it. Were there angels? I don't know. Let's see. It says the novel opens in the present. At its center is Toby O'Dare, a contract killer of underground fame on assignment to kill once again. A soulless soul, a dead man walking, he lives under a series of aliases. Just now, Lucky the Fox is his name apparently, and takes his orders from the right man. Into O'Dare's nightmarish world of lone and lethal missions comes a mysterious stranger, a seraph, like an angel or something, who offers him a chance to save rather than destroy lives. O'Dare, who long ago dreamt of being a priest, but instead came to embody danger and violence, seizes his chance. Now he is carried back through the ages to 13th century England, to dark realms where accusations of ritual murder have been made against Jews, where children suddenly die or disappear. In this primitive setting, O'Dare begins his perilous quest for salvation, a journey of danger and flight, loyalty and betrayal, selflessness and love. Yeah, and I like it. I liked the time travel aspect, and I believe in the second one he goes to like a different time period. But anyway, I don't see anything wrong with this book. Why it has such 3.31? Of course, it only has 9,000 ratings, and a lot of books have a lot more than that. How many does Solstice have? Let's go back and see. Maybe that's part of it, is just maybe not very many people have read this book. Oh, it's only got 324 ratings for Solstice. So that's part of the problem right there, is that the few people that have read it, you know, compared to 100,000 people or something rating it. So, okay, I don't feel as bad. Okay, the third worst book apparently that I like that BookTube doesn't, or not BookTube, gosh, Goodreads, which I'm actually really shocked by, is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. What? This is a classic. It got an average rating of 3.43 stars. That is so bad. I cannot believe it. Like, that's just mind-boggling. And it's got 781,000 ratings. Whew. Okay, well, I feel like most people probably know what Scarlet Letter is about, so we're not going to go over that. But I had to read the Scarlet Letter when I was in junior year of high school. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's people that are assigned to read it in school and therefore they hate it because it was assigned to them. Who knows? But I loved the Scarlet Letter. I liked a lot of classics, but if I had to pick like the worst classic I've read, it is definitely not Scarlet Letter. So that is really shocking to me. Okay, the next worst book that I actually liked, well, because see, some of these are ones I didn't like. So Heart of Darkness, Beowulf, I'm not a huge fan of those either. Okay, well, all right, I guess I'm not too shocked by this. The next worst book that I liked, that they clearly did not, got 3.48 stars, and that is City of Dark Magic by Magnus Flight, which is a terrible pseudonym. I know that's not really their real name, but this is a duology, at least right now it's duology. I think there's gonna be a third one, but yeah, it's called City of Dark Magic is the series name, and I picked this up at like a yard sale or used bookstore or something like that for really cheap, and I really, really liked it because it was set in somewhere, Prague. Yeah, it's set in Prague. And it's about this girl named Sarah who goes there because she is cataloging Beethoven's manuscripts. Yeah, I do remember that. It's been a long time since I read this one, like years, but and I mean, I loved it enough to even read the sequel. So, and I remember the ending of the sequel was amazing. Like the end of the second one was one of the best endings, just the most well-written endings that I've ever read in my life. I even took pictures of the text because I wanted to be able to remember it. So this says it's a rom-com paranormal suspense novel is what they're calling it. I could see that. It really was. It was suspense, it had paranormal stuff, and it was kind of funny, and it definitely had some romance in it. But she follows these clues. She manages to get arrested. She discovers a time-warping drug. I do remember that. She also catches the attention of a 400-year-old dwarf, the handsome Prince Max, and a powerful U.S. senator with secrets that she will do anything to hide. Yeah, I don't know why people don't like this book. I actually really liked it a lot. It was fun. It was fast-paced. It was well-written. I don't know what more you could want from a rom-com that has dwarves and paranormal stuff and time travel. But like I said, I even read the sequel, which was, I can't remember, City of Lost Dreams, maybe, I think is the sequel. And I believe there's going to be a third one. In fact, I'm going to look into that right now because I liked it that much that I would totally read a third one. No word on the third one. The second one was published. It is City of Lost Dreams, and it came out in 2013. So, and it only has 3.78 stars for that one. I gave that one 4 stars too, but oh well. Okay, let's just do one more because we've already done 4. So we'll do, basically this will be 5 in this video. So The Pearl, don't care about that one too much. Of Love and Evil by Anne Rice, that's the sequel. So we went to the one I already talked about, so we won't talk about that one. Okay, well, let's do this one. So I am shocked about this one too. This is the 5th worst book I've read according to Goodreads that I actually really enjoyed is Ghost of Sava by Farid Esani, and it got 3.52 stars. And it is the first of a long series. I believe there's like 10 in the series called The Society for Paranormals. And I loved this series. I started it when I was first, the baby was maybe like 2 months old or something. And I was reading it like in the dark on my phone as an ebook. And I read the second one as an ebook too. So apparently I'm just gonna continue the trend. But I loved this. It was set, well, I'll just read you the summary because it'd be easier than me trying to talk about it. It says, armed with Victorian etiquette, a fully loaded walking stick, and a dead husband who like comes back to haunt her and is really funny, Beatrice Knight arrives in colonial Kenya, desperate for a pot of tea and a pinch of cinnamon. But she'll need more than that if she's to unravel the mystery of the ghost of Sava without being eaten in the process. All this while surviving the machinations of her best friend's dashing godfather and the efforts of her safari guide to feed her to any lion willing to drag her away. But, what is a ghost-chasing widow to do? This is the first case in the Society for Paranormal series, a series concerning dead husbands, African legends, and the search for the perfect spot of tea. For those who adore Pride and Prejudice, which I hate Pride and Prejudice, but I still liked this, so don't let that put you off of it, and would love to experience the Parasol Protectorate, I don't know what that is, set in colonial Africa, this is for you. So it's listed as fantasy, paranormal, mystery, historical fiction, science fiction, steampunk, cultural Africa, cozy mysteries, ghost. So I don't know, it reminded me of like Elizabeth Peters, if you've ever heard of her in her Amelia Peabody series where she goes to Egypt. It's kind of like, reminds me of that. It's like, 1920s or whatever it is, or turn of the century, or yeah, I guess it's probably before the 20s. I don't know, sometime like turn of the century. And yeah, just it's super cozy and fun, and I really enjoyed it. I read the second one. I maybe didn't enjoy the second one as much as I did the first one. I think I gave it like 3 or 3.5 stars, but I'm going to continue the series and I can see where it's going. And I kind of spoiled myself and saw like who she winds up with because I saw what her last name becomes. So I know she marries him eventually. I guess she gets rid of her dead ghost husband at some point then, or maybe he's still around too, I don't know. But I did spoil kind of the love interest, but I really like the love interest, so I definitely want to see how it all turns out. But I do highly recommend this whole series. So those are the 5 worst books I have read according to Goodreads that I actually really enjoyed. I don't see anything wrong with those, and I don't know why people, oh, I didn't look at the last one. I bet it doesn't have very many reviews either, though. That's what it is on a lot of these. Don't know what happened to the Scarlet Letter, though. Like almost 1 million people have said they have read that book on Goodreads and rated it, and somehow it's like one of the worst books I've apparently ever read. But anyway, so those are 5 that I still recommend. You can't always go by the Goodreads recommendations. Sometimes you can, but sometimes you can't. So I think the next video I'll do the opposite, and we'll look at the highest rated books on Goodreads that I did not like The Way of Kings. Don't get me started. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below some books that you have read that apparently most people don't like. So I will talk to you guys again later. Bye.